AITA for telling people that I wasn't invited to a wedding? I've been working for my company for 7 years now, 5 of which have been spent on my current team. There are 15 people on it and I'd say we're all pretty close. Relatively speaking, I have a coworker named Bob, 33 meters, who joined the team when I did. During the pandemic, he announced to everyone on a Zoom meeting that he was now engaged. Fast forward to this January and Bob says that his wedding would be held in September of this year, at a really beautiful winery. About 5 months ago the invites started coming in for everyone on the team. But mine didn't. I waited a few weeks but nothing came. So I went to Bob and asked if my invite got sent out. He gave me a solemn look and then told me that I wasn't invited because of a spacing issue. He said he tried to make it work, but just couldn't, and hoped I didn't take it personally. He also said I'd be sure to get wedding favors and a piece of cake. He also asked me to keep it to myself and please not make a big deal out of it. I honestly didn't know what to say, so I guess I just said, okay, and walked away. I won't lie, I was upset. I hate feeling excluded. And it was doubly worse because everyone else on the team was going except for me. And honestly, I really like weddings. They're usually very fun. I kept it to myself. But I wasn't happy. The day of the wedding came 3 weeks ago, and it went by without a hitch. Everyone on my team had a grand time and said it was beautiful. The food and party was great as well. And apparently everyone got a dozen fresh apple cider donuts to take home. I never did get that cake or wedding favors, by the way. At work the following Monday, my team member, Sherry, told me that everyone was confused as to where I was. Apparently Bob said I was sick and couldn't make it. I was confused and then pissed. I straight up told her I wasn't invited, and left it at that. She looked shocked and asked me to confirm, and I said yes, I wasn't invited. Well, Sherry told someone, because about 5 people asked me if I wasn't invited and I said it was true. Today was Bob's first day back from his honeymoon and it must have gotten back to him that I spilled the beans. He approached me in the break room and he was upset that I told Sherry and that it wasn't a big deal. I missed the wedding. I said, how would you like to be excluded from something everyone else is going to? Quote, we went back and forth for a bit before Bob walked away. I was pretty upset. So upset that my project manager came to ask me if I was okay because she heard about me not being invited. I didn't want this to go this far, so I said yes. But other team members came up to me and said that Bob should have invited me. And it was wrong, he didn't. Look, I realize that it was his wedding day and he's allowed to invite who he wants. But I'm allowed to be upset that I wasn't invited, right? So Reddit. AITA for telling people I wasn't invited to the wedding and being upset about it? Edit. Sorry, I forgot to put in the op that I'm a 30 male. Edit 2. Wow guys. Thank you for all the support. My inbox is begging for mercy. NTA. You didn't ruin his wedding day. And you didn't say anything prior to the wedding, nor make a big deal of it. Bob straight up lied to your colleagues about why you couldn't attend, which is incredibly bizarre and a major awe move. You just corrected his mistake. NTA. If he was worried about what people would think if he didn't invite you, he should have invited you. It's his wedding and he can do whatever he wants, but obviously people are going to find out and he can't expect you to lie on his behalf. NTA. You're allowed to have feelings and to answer questions honestly. The fact that he had to lie to people about why you didn't attend speaks volumes. NTA. It's Bob's right to invite whomsoever he wishes, or not to invite them. But that's where it ends. He doesn't get to ask you to lie to make him look better. If he wants to exclude one team member out of 15, then he can deal with the fallout from it. If he doesn't want to handle fallout, then he can invite you. But he doesn't get to not invite you and then act like the reason you didn't come is because you didn't want to go. NTA. I was going to say Bob wasn't an aw either until it was revealed that he lied to your coworkers about you being sick. I feel like Bob could do whatever he wants for his wedding. But he should have been honest and take whatever flack that came his way. NTA. He told everyone you were sick. He didn't want the truth coming out. Sounds personal to me. He didn't have to invite you. Nobody has to invite anybody to their wedding they don't want to. That does not entitle him to lie about it or ask you to. You don't have to keep other people's secrets. NTA. So much of what we learned in preschool is really true. One of them is, you get to invite your 3 best class friends to your party. You maybe even get to invite half the class to the party. You do not get to invite 29 out of 30 kids to the party. Bob was just incredibly rude. Here, worse. AmITheAsshole. Was his asking you to keep quiet about it. When Sherry came over to talk to you, what were you supposed to do? Lie about it? You didn't say, wow, that huge Bob and his bee of a wife invited everyone but me. You just said you weren't invited. None of this is your fault. Let him deal with the fallout. NTA. You can be upset about whatever you want, but it's entirely up to him who he invites, and that isn't something that he needs to apologize for. But that's not what this is really about. He is apparently mad that you spilled the beans. What beans? You weren't invited. That's a fact. If he is embarrassed by that, then I guess he should avoid doing things that he finds embarrassing. And then he lies to people about why you're not there, and just expects you to lie along with him? That's ridiculous. NTA. It's true he didn't have to invite you, but to expect you to not tell your coworkers you weren't invited is just stupid. Why wouldn't you tell them, especially when asked about your absence? He's none too bright. Has he ever said why? This is just weird. Someone said nah, but Bob is an asshole because he lied about not inviting Op. Bob said Op was sick. I also don't believe it was just a spacing issue. I think there was an issue and Bob is not being forthcoming. NTA. But Bob is. NTA. And honestly, him lying about it to everyone else shows that he knew he was being the in the first place. NTA. Here's the thing that bothers me. Doesn't matter that you were not invited. He's entitled to invite whoever he wants. What bothers me is fact that he lied to everyone else about why you were not in attendance, just to make himself look better. So then when he gets called on his shenanigans, he's mad. He did that to himself. Let him lay in that ugly bed he made. He has no one to blame but himself. NTA. Is there any reason you're aware of Bob would choose to exclude you specifically? Difference of opinion. Did he fancy you at some point? He's the one who made the decision not only to not invite you, but lie as to your absence. It's on him to explain, and that he was upset by others knowing he lied indicates there's a reason he doesn't want to disclose to them or you. Sure, Bob's wedding, Bob's decisions. But if there had indeed been a spacing issue, then he shouldn't have invited any of his colleagues. He effectively singled you out by doing what he did. He shouldn't have asked you to keep quiet. And he certainly should not have lied about you. NTA. NTA. I would have said no assholes here, except Bob expected you to back up his lie. That's not cool. Bob is not trustworthy. Remember that going forward. NTA. You didn't tell people before the wedding, which was nice of you. Presumably because it never came up. But Bob should not have expected you to lie for him. He lied. He looks like an If he tries to take it any further on a professional level as revenge, remind him that excluding only one person is a form of bullying, and that if he doesn't back off you'll be forced to report his unprofessional behavior, expecting you to lie to make him look good. 2 hour NTA. And the reason Bob didn't want you to tell everyone was because he knew it was an arsehole move not to invite you. You can't invite everyone on a small team to your wedding, but leave one person out. He should have invited everyone or no one. NTA. Bob crossed the AITA threshold when he made up a phony excuse instead of being forthcoming in saying you weren't invited when your coworkers asked about you at the wedding. I get him asking you not to spill the beans before the wedding. Your coworkers may have protested and declined their invitations in solidarity with you being excluded. But you had every right to correct his lie the following business day when all was said and done. Don't want to come off like an aw. Don't act like an aw. NTA. Alternate translation from Bob. I'm going to be an asshole to you, but please don't tell anyone about it. And definitely don't dispute any lies I tell about you to cover up me being an asshole to you. Fuck Bob. Bob sucks. NTA. For the excuse Bob gave for your absence. If he didn't want an awkward situation, he shouldn't have lied.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Aircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.